Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there. My name is Kiza Martha. As usual, you can call me Mama Family because Martha touches a family that is psychologically enhanced. Is a family that will be good as its members will get into the community out there and be productive, including children who are happy in the family that will perform well at school and interact well and make good friends at school. It is all a lot about a family that is happy. Today I have come to share about the values of clitoris. A clitoris is very important as far as a woman is concerned, and also as far as marriage is concerned. Clitoris is a word that was borrowed from a Greek word, clitoris, and it means a heel. A heel like this, it's a pointed heel. A clitoris is in this form. Just on top of there of the heel is the clitoral hood that in some women that are circumcised, for those cultures who circumcise women, and also some religions, they just remove the clitoral hood. That's the foreskin in like in the penis, and you actually expose the glands of the clitoris. That's the topmost part, and it is so sensitive to touch and for sexual pleasure and orgasm. That's its design, and it's the most important factor there. And that's why we say as much as possible it should not be cut. Actually, the clitoris you see here, the protruding part that comes out as a heel is just a small part that you see there, but it is a very big part. A clitoris is longer than even the longest penis. Look at how I'm doing it. The shape is almost this. If you see it, we talked about the two legs firmly holding it into the body. So when it holds it down there inside the parts you don't see, there are a lot of things that are there. There are muscles, there are blood vessels, there are nerves, and a lot of nerve endings. The nerves start from in there, and then up to top here are thousands and thousands of nerve endings are on top just for sexual gratification. And the clitoris is connects directly to the brain by a little touch of it to stimulate a lady into sexual intercourse, depending on what you are using to touch. Some people can use sex toys, while others may use their tongue, while others may use the penis to touch, while others use the finger, depending on the sexual orientation of the couple. Once they stimulate it, the message is quickly sent to the brain, and the brain sends back the information to the rest of the body. Blood starts pumping into the clitoris, and the clitoris will erect, and that is what we call erection of the clitoris. As the same way we talk about the erection of the penis. But on top here, when you'll touch a woman who is sexually aroused and is excited, and it will feel harder. That means the blood has entered into it, it has been pushed into it, it is now engorged, hard enough for sexual gratification. And the erection starts from inside there. The legs are holding it tightly, and the rest of the functions are all at play. So, ladies and gentlemen, that one is extremely important. And therapists, psychologists, and also clinical psychologists, and the ordinary, whoever does something to do with the sex and marriage counseling, you find that sex is very important therapy for most of the mental illnesses and all the mental disorders, because of the happiness hormones involved. There are a lot of happiness hormones involved once a woman engages in sex and is excited, and the sex is so gratifying. Hormones like endorphins and like oxytocin, like dopamine and others are produced. All that is the work of the brain, and then it creates happiness, pleasure, and the woman will be so much happy, and it will also help her facial expressions and her looks, her smiles. She laughs so many times with other people, and work goes on. Unlike the women who don't do sex, you find that sometimes they are moody, they might be rough, they might be aggressive. All these are psychological explanations. So sex is such important, and especially when it is done well and people are happy about it. That's why the clitoris is extremely important, ladies and gentlemen. But there are more explanations, more advanced explanations, medical explanations that can tell, that indicates that a woman, the clitoris can also help a woman in pregnancy. Here the explanation is that a woman, because the clitoris is this big, I told you it is around 9 to 11 inches in there, so it stretches up to the vaginal area, and also the connection is up to the uterus and the cervix. So in that process of excitement and sexual pleasure, the woman, the oxygen increases in the vagina, the temperature increases, and lubrication, because there are glands there responsible for lubrication of the vagina. So once the sperms are pushed in there during sexual excitement and sexual intercourse, the uterus, the uterine walls contract. In that contraction, you find that The contractions help the cervix to move higher, and then also tightens a little, delaying the sperms from going into the fallopian tubes. It stays a little bit into the vagina in the process called capacitation. The sperms there will sort of become mature, being modified by the bodily secretions that are in there in the vagina, and before it transports itself to the uterus and the fallopian tubes. This explanation tells us that not all sperms that are injected into the vagina will make children, or they are all mature. Some of them die off and it is all wasted there. So this process helps the sperms to delay a little into the vagina, and they get prepared for survival. They survive, they move into the uterus and the fallopian tubes when they are strong enough to survive. That explanation is also there. And finally, the clitoris helps in orgasm. Orgasm is the highest excitement of a lady's happiness. The description of orgasm can be in another video, but it is the highest excitement of the woman's sexual gratification, sexual pleasure and happiness. Even for the man, it's the same thing. So that's why sex can be used as a therapy for mental illnesses and other mental disorders, because the hormone is responsible for happiness at orgasm are extremely important, and the ladies who don't reach that orgasm still lack a lot. This is the very reason that the clitoris should be kept, not to be tampered with, not to be mutilated, not to be cut, ladies and gentlemen, because once it is cut, it forms these hard scars, and also the nerve endings are cut off. Therefore, sexual pleasures are brought completely to zero, and this lady will not benefit from the right of the happiness the sexual intercourse brings about. That's why I will emphasize more and more that, ladies and gentlemen out there, professionals, doctors, especially the gynecologists and psychologists, sex therapists, join me in this struggle. Policymakers, lawmakers, and all that, please let us work together and ensure that the practice of mutilation, female genital mutilation, ends in Africa. Other countries ended it long ago. Let it end in Africa as well. Culture changes and religions change. What does not change is God, and He his laws. God does not talk anywhere in the Bible, in the Quran, anywhere. You will never find anything related to genital, female genital mutilation. It's just culture. Cultures can be informed, ladies and gentlemen. Follow me to my website, mamafamily.org, for more information. For now, ladies and gentlemen, bye-bye.